Spring had kissed the kingdom with life. Flowers bloomed, streams danced, and laughter echoed across the hills. And there, on the highest hill, stood the kingdom's heart, Princess Elara, as radiant as the morning sun. But far beyond the blooming fields, a shadow stirred, hungry for her light. But that happiness didn't last. As the kingdom celebrated the first bloom of spring, an icy wind swept through the golden hall. The doors slammed open with a thunderous crack, and there she stood, the dark enchantress, cloaked in shadows, her emerald eyes burned with hunger. Before anyone could react, a swirl of green magic wrapped around the princess. No! The queen screamed, but in a blink, she was gone. While fear gripped the kingdom, far beyond the castle walls, a boy named Arin stood by the rushing stream. He had heard the news, everyone was terrified. But Arin wasn't. If no one will go, he whispered, gripping his staff tightly. Then I will. His heart pounded with courage. And in that moment, a journey began that would change everything. The kingdom fell silent in despair, but not everyone gave up hope. A young boy, small in size but fierce in spirit, clenched his fists as he gazed at the distant castle. I'll bring her back, he whispered, his voice steady. No crown, no armor, only a heart full of courage. And so, the bravest journey began. As the boy stepped deeper into the forest, the world around him seemed alive with magic. The whisper of leaves carried secrets, and glowing flowers lit his way. A crystal-clear stream shimmered ahead, floating lights dancing above its surface like tiny stars. He paused, enchanted, before moving forward. Every step felt like a promise that he was closer to saving her. As dusk painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, Arin reached the legendary crystal bridge. The bridge glowed like frozen starlight, suspended above a roaring waterfall. Each step sent ripples of light racing across its surface. He clenched his fists. Beyond this bridge lay the witch's lair and the princess's only hope. Deep within the heart of the dark fortress, she waited. The enchanted prison shimmered with cruel beauty, its magic unbreakable, or so the witch believed. Princess Elara's voice trembled as she whispered into the void, "Someone, please!" But in the shadows, laughter curled like smoke. The witch was ready. Tonight, the spell would be complete. Arin stepped into the grand hall and froze. The castle's heart pulsed with magic green light shimmering from floating crystals above. Twisted vines crept along the walls like living shadows. And there at the center stood the glowing cage, and inside it the princess. Her hair gleamed like gold, her blue gown torn, yet her eyes shone with hope. Arin's breath caught. "I found you," he whispered, but before he could take another step, a cold laugh echoed through the hall. The laughter grew louder until a figure stepped out from the shadows, cloaked in black, eyes glowing with malice. The sorcerer raised his staff. Vines twisted and hissed like serpents at his feet. "So, the boy has come," he sneered, his voice sharp as steel. "Do you truly think you can break my curse?" Arin tightened his grip on the sword, his heart pounding. He knew this was the moment everything would change. The princess pressed her hands against the glowing bars, her light breaking through the cracks. Butterflies of magic burst forth, filling the air. They swirled and drifted toward Arin. His sword caught the light, shining brighter, infused with her power. The sorcerer staggered back, his eyes wide. For the first time, Arin felt destiny in his hands. The witch raised her staff, her laughter echoing like thunder. Purple smoke and swarms of bats filled the hall, shattering the silence. The ground cracked beneath her rage, and green lightning split the air. Arin tightened his grip on the glowing sword, the princess's light burning within it. The final battle had begun. The witch roared, her staff blazing with dark fire, shadows twisting around her. Arin gripped his sword, now burning with golden light from the princess's magic. He charged. Darkness and light clashed with a thunderous roar. For a moment, the hall itself trembled, the moon above shaking in the stained glass. And then Arin's strike cut through. The witch shrieked as her power shattered, her figure dissolving into sparks, swallowed by the light. The golden cage shattered. Piece by piece, it crumbled into sparks. The princess stepped forward, her torn silver gown shimmering in the moonlight. Magic swirled around her like falling stars. And there Arin stood, smiling, relief in his eyes. The nightmare was over. Hope had returned. At last, the kingdom rejoiced. The gates opened wide, and petals rained from the sky as the princess returned home. By her side rode Arin, no longer just a boy with a sword, but a hero of the realm. Cheers rose like thunder, and above them, the banners of peace waved in the wind. As the sun dipped low, painting the kingdom in golden hues, the royal family stood together on the balcony. The king rested his hand proudly on the railing. The queen's smile radiated warmth, and the princess beamed with joy. Below, villagers cheered for the hero Arin, who had bravely saved the princess and defeated the Dark Witch. In honor of his courage, the king presented him with a gift, a symbol of gratitude and the peace he had restored. Fireworks sparkled in the sky, and the air shimmered with magic, marking a perfect moment of happiness and triumph. And so, the curse was broken, and the kingdom lived in light once more. If this tale touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical adventures. Your support keeps the magic alive.